at some point of your life, especially when you are like in your midlife, I'm 47, yeah, exactly the point, you start to notice something. The world is not going to become stable, you know? It just will not settle down. And I think a lot of stress comes from trying to control the world, trying to hope that it's going to be certain at some point, like back to normal or something. The fact is that I think instead what actually helps is learning how to be calm and clear within this instability or uncertainty that the world is giving us. So in this video, I want to give a few tips that help me to stay grounded in these interesting times. And I hope it can also help you, and I hope you can also give me some advice on what helps you to stay calm no matter what. I'm going to share 5 points, and all of them are equally important, and I think the further we are going to go, the more important they are. So I really hope you're going to stick till the end of this year to get the full benefit of it. And let's start with something simple, as don't start your day and don't end your day with your phone. Yeah, I've been guilty of this one too. You know, when you start your day scrolling or checking notifications, this is the last thing you need. You need some peace of mind in the morning. You need some motivation. You need some maybe activity, you know, no matter what kind of morning ritual you have, or maybe just drink some coffee, you know, and enjoy the beautiful view from your window. You know, no matter what kind of ritual, everything which makes your mind peaceful or like relax and focus on something which actually makes sense, something which is really important in your life, not just now some important notifications, but in general. Focus what is important in your life, what makes you happy, how can you be beneficial for others. These kind of questions, something is good to ask in the morning. By the way, I think I'm going to drink another coffee while we continue talking here. So yeah, it's still morning actually. And again, how you end your day, yeah, is very important, because many people continue scrolling, lying in bed. And no matter if you're single or not. Okay, now the machine has to be cleaned. Okay, let's wait a little bit. So no matter if you're single or not, if you're going to scroll in the evening, you're going to stimulate your brain in the ways that your brain actually, it's not healthy, and you need rest before going to bed. You need really peace of mind again. Yeah? During the day, there were a lot of things happening. Now you need to calm down, you know. I hope you could hear me well so far, but okay, one never knows. I always screw something up when it comes to the quality, you know, sound or video. It's always something, you know, no matter how hard I try, I will never be perfect on YouTube, you know. It's kind of the truth I had to accept. But I can keep trying, yeah, that's what I'm doing for sure. And if you want to help me, by the way, on this journey on YouTube, I really ask you to watch this video till the end. And maybe watch another video of mine. This way YouTube is going to show this video to more people. So. Cheers. Nice. Okay, it's not such a popular message, but your phone, okay, you need it for different reasons, but not, at least not in the morning when you wake up, and at least not an hour before you go to bed. And if you have a partner, it's even worse. You need some time with your partner, in bed, not with your phone. The next one is going to be even more unpopular because everybody's doing it. And I would suggest you to stop multitasking because it fragments your mind. You are not present when you do multitasking. And nowadays, everybody's doing it. I'm sure let me know if you do it or not. And let me put it this way, no matter how good you are in multitasking, you cannot be in a few places at the same time with your mind. If you're fully present here, 100%, you have no surplus for being fully present somewhere else. It's just not possible. So don't tell me you can do that. Yes, you can do like 50% focus here, 50% focus there, and maybe, something somewhere else, 30, 30, 40 or something. Yeah, this could work, but you are not fully present. So you are not actually fully productive, as you might think, because it's all about being productive. At the end, you are not fully productive, you are not present. You cannot really enjoy the process fully, because to enjoy it, you have to be present. Like, now I want to enjoy this conversation with you. Okay, I can drink a coffee at the same time because I don't have my focus here. So everything which is like a background thing is okay. Another example of the background is if you drive a car, you have a music on, because you don't have to focus on the music. It can be the background, so this is then still okay. But when you drive, you need your 100% focus on the road. But many people, they hear podcasts, they hear audiobooks in their car. Unless you are just stuck in the traffic jam, then maybe okay. But otherwise, when you drive, I really hope to have your full focus on the road. And there are many people who are driving and at the same time they're checking the messages on the phone. I mean, those multitasking people are very dangerous. I don't want to meet that type of person on the phone. People cross the roads while still be on the phone or having a podcast in their ears and not hearing the cars passing by and almost killing them. And sometimes it happens, accidents happens because people have earplugs with the podcast or audiobook in their heads. So I would really, if you want to have a peace of mind, if you want to be fully present and enjoy life, reconsider multitasking. Everything which is background is okay, but if you need your full focus in two places, it's not going to work. Like if you want to enjoy the thing 100%, it's not going to work. Another good example here, and I think we need some examples here because it's just everybody's doing it. It's like you go to enjoy the nature, you go for a walk, you go in the woods, you go to the beach, and then again you have something in your head and in your earplugs, a podcast, an audiobook, whatever. You are not present 100%. You cannot enjoy this walk in the woods if you don't use all your senses to enjoy it, to hear the birds singing, or maybe some animals trying to attack you and you don't even hear it because of the podcast, So I would say even more, you can't make love and read a newspaper at the same time or smoke a cigarette, And you could argue that it's possible, but it's not the same quality of lovemaking, If you want to be fully present, you have to be fully present in one thing, in here and now, and not somewhere else. Not doing something at the same time. Because if you read a newspaper, your mind is fully there. Okay, if you smoke, maybe your mind is not fully there, but still, you know, I think lovemaking is a good example just to show it's ridiculous. Multitasking is there to make people productive, but it's quite ridiculous, actually. Reconsider, honestly. And you want to have your peace of mind, you want to enjoy life, you want to be present, reconsider multitasking. I had to do it for myself. I had to check, okay, what is the background noise which is still okay? And what is already another task that needs my full attention and I'm just not there because I'm doing something else. Okay, the next one is simple but important. Make pauses during the day and in life in general. For your brain, for your body. I mean, what people do in the pauses nowadays. Again, they scroll. It's very common, like, oh, I have a few minutes on the bus stop, I go to my Instagram. This is what people do. Yeah. Or I have a coffee break at work, I'm going to scroll. No, your mind is not having a pause at all. You keep your mind busy. And you need a pause if you want to actually have clarity in your life and enjoy life. Otherwise, you're like a squirrel, you know, running around and never make a pause, you know. A squirrel can make a pause. It's very hectic, you know. But we humans, we can. Or can we? Some people cannot anymore make pauses in life, you know, like breathe out. Relax. Just be here without actually focusing on anything at all. Just give your mind some rest, you know? Give yourself a break. Give your brain a break. The next very important thing, the fourth one, if you want to be calm and clear, is live with integrity and be aligned with your values. Because in the times of stabilities, values is your compass, so to say. Otherwise, you lose the ground, yeah, and you don't know what's going on, and you don't know what to do and where to focus. And no matter how crazy the world becomes, you can decide, I'm still going to be human. I'm still going to be kind to people, even if the world looks evil. It's not like, okay, the world is evil, I'm going to be evil too. Or the world is unstable, I'm going to get crazy too. No, you can choose not to become crazy or unstable. You can choose to make a pause. You can choose to have a break. You can choose to refresh and contemplate on your values and what is important for you to be who you are, to stay who you are. Staying human, staying free, having the integrity, you know. This is what's going to, you know, make you also calm, because you have this deep experience that no matter what happens in the world, you have this freedom to choose to be who you are. Even it might be difficult at times, you know, but still. So this is a very important point. I'm also like working on this, you know, because sometimes some things you can change, of course, and it's good to be flexible, but some things, if it's something that is going against your nature of who you truly are, you don't have to go with the flow of the modern world, of the modern trends. They are not always healthy for you. They are not always healthy for human beings at all. So stick to your roots, stick to your common sense, stick to who you truly are. I think this one is very important when it comes to staying clear and, yeah, staying calm. If you are true to yourself, if you stay true to yourself, then you can be very stable and feel that freedom inside to choose, to do what you want, even in this unstable, unfree, and artificial world. The last thing I want to mention, if you want to stay calm, and this really also helps me very much, and it's very important, is to accept that uncertainty is not a temporary thing. This is the nature of this world. It changes all the time. And especially in the times we live now. It's a new norm, this uncertainty. We had some stable times which looked stable. They were not necessarily stable, but they looked like this. The life really seemed to be stable, but it was just a period of time. And if you look at the history, the world is unstable. There are a lot of things going on. There were almost always some war going on in the world throughout the history, So there were never really stable times, but there were some times when it felt like stability, when I know, especially like in the West. I came first time to the States like 30 years ago, and it felt very stable there, especially after my experience with living in this and growing up in the Soviet Union and the post-Soviet, times, which were so chaotic, and then going to the West was like going to another planet, to some stability. But that was just a temporary thing, and it was also, there was never actually stability here, but only the feeling of stability. And now we have to accept that uncertainty is going to be our norm in this life, for sure. So we have to learn not to try to control the world, because we can't, but learn how to be stable in this uncertainty and inside the change. Everything is impermanent. Everything which is made of conditions is impermanent. So conditions change. And now we can see it very, very well also in the West. Also in the Western part. I mean, I grew up in the place of uncertainty and instability on all levels. Yeah. So I grew up with this feeling. So maybe it makes a little bit easier for me to relate to this and to know what to do and how to cope and also thrive. Yeah, how to rest and be present no matter what. Maybe it helps me, but if you grow up in the place of stability and suddenly so many things happen, it might scare you a lot because you don't know this reality in this lifetime. That's why I thought maybe my experience, like my trick of switching this mind set and saying, okay, I cannot control the world, but I still can control myself. Or can I? And there are people who have hard times controlling themselves, even though they can. You're not a squirrel. You're a human being. You are able to control yourself. But don't try to control the world. Stay true to yourself, your values, your integrity, who you are. You control this. There are things you can control. Focus on this, because there you can be productive. If you try to control the world, you cannot be productive. And of course, when we join this attitude and join forces, then together we can actually also make this world a better place. And this community here, this YouTube channel, is also meant for this, to make some space for people to come and relax and come back to the roots and common sense and clarity and understanding the human nature and what makes us happy. So I hope you are enjoying this here on the channel. And what I would really like to ask you is to watch another video of mine. I'm sure you're going to get the benefit of it. If you like this video so far, you're going to like another video. And if you could spend more time with me, you can also help me grow this channel, because I really like some watch time hours on this channel, so that would be a good help. And I try my best to give value here. And if you could pay a little bit back with your attention, that means a lot. Enjoy your life, be present, stay calm, stay clear, and I would love to see you in another video. See you there.